Hi, we're here today and I have my absolutely beautiful granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, Alexandria, with me. She's here for a week visiting with her boyfriend, Tanner Clausen, and we're going to be making some spicy shrimp. So we're going to start out with red pepper, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop it. Now, the recipe that I'm going to put online is not for 4 people, it's for 2 people. So we're going to use a little bit more in this recipe as I'm walking through it, but the actual amounts that you would use for just 2 people are online at www.gansgirl.com. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and chop these up. Now we're going to chop them really small because you want this to be more of a sauce, and I think if you get the vegetables too chunky, they get, I don't know, they're just not good. So Alex, do you want to start with the chop wizard? Ooh, that's loud. So when Alex was little, she really liked cooking with me, and still does. And I was afraid to have her near knives, although she's really good at it right now. I use this because it's convenient for me and it chops everything very consistently, and it has it helps you take out some aggressions if you're really hungry. And I think it's just a really good good way to get everything consistent. Then we're going to take a whole onion and we're going to chop that equally small. And let me do that. We're just going to put that down like that. So now we're going to take this and we're going to move over to the stove, and I'm going to saute this in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to saute these up until the onions start to get a little clear. Tomato, if you could saute that up for me, that'd be great. So I got these beautiful tomatoes from the store. 'Tis the season. I'm growing my own, but they're not quite there yet. So farmer's market had some beautiful tomatoes the other day. And so you want to chop these again very small, just like the others. This recipe is fast and it's easy, you know, once you get everything kind of chopped up. And it's really good for you. And of course, after my surgery, for some reason, I just craved shellfish and fish. I don't know what the significance was to that, or if my body was just telling me that I needed that kind of nutrient, but that's where I headed, and where I never ever in my life thought that I would be, you know, crazed over tuna. Suddenly it just became really critical, and I had to have it like all the time. So this recipe came about because I wanted something that was fairly easy to make, but I needed to make sure that it had, you know, enough protein in it to get me through my day. But, you know, just because I had the surgery, it seemed like everywhere I went, they were telling me to eat stuff that didn't really have a lot of flavor. And, you know, I'm all about the flavor. And I don't think it'll hurt you. I would be hard pressed to say that any kind of spice is gonna hurt you in any way. A little bit. All right. We're gonna throw in these tomatoes. Put those up. Put some garlic in there, and typically garlic is sauteed or cooked in the sauce. I like to have my garlic still almost raw. So it's going to cook for 3, 5, 7 minutes in the sauteed mixture, and I think that'll bring out the flavor, but it'll also keep it part of the sauce. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 large cloves of garlic to the mixture. And I keep it a little chunky, so. It's starting to smell good. Now we're going to add I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of the red pepper, a teaspoon of the red pepper flakes in here. And the red pepper flakes are going to give it just a really nice little bit of a zing. And because I'm doubling this recipe, I'm just adding a little bit more. And then some kosher salt. And we're just gonna, probably a teaspoon, maybe more, depending on how you like it. And everything, of course, if you've watched my other videos, is kind of to taste. Then we're going to put some coarse pepper in, and again, we're looking at a teaspoon. Now we are going to take just some basil, nice fresh basil, and I'm going to cut out some of that leaf, but I'm going to just really thinly slice up these leaves. This in with the other mixture. We're just going to get it nice and blended in there. And then I'm going to put in 3 heaping teaspoons of marinara sauce. And tablespoons, I'm sorry. And so we're going to do, I'm actually going to put in more because I'm making a bigger batch. So I'm going to do probably 6. Up. After you get that mixed in, let Grandma have a little taste. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the angel hair pasta in the boiling water. This tastes really good over the angel hair, and I found that since the surgery, the angel hair is really much easier for me to be able to digest. I think because it's smaller, I can maneuver it better. You know, it used to be that you would take a fork and a spoon and roll up a great big wad of noodle on that fork and put it in your mouth and just chew. Sometimes barely chewing, you know, just swallowing it whole like that. You can't do that after the surgery. You have to be very cognizant. And I think a lot of people give up having pasta because of the way they eat it. You're used to eating it a certain way, and you have to reprogram your mind to really sit down, take small portions and little bites and chew. Then it doesn't affect you. It doesn't bother you the way that it used to. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. This goes for 4 to 5 minutes. You have to keep the heat up on it because the shrimp is going to go on it in like 1 minute. And we're just going to cook those shrimp for 3 minutes. So you want to kind of get them in there single layer, right on top of that hot sauce. You don't want to overcook shrimp. They just taste rubbery and yucky if you do that. So you really want to get them in there. Now these shrimp were frozen, and I shelled them. They were already deveined. You don't want that yucky vein in there. So you really want to get that on top, like so. And then we're going to put this on for just a minute. Steam come up to them, and then we're going to blend it all together and get that beautiful taste to come through it within the shrimp itself. Ooh, Grandma made a mess. Grandma made a mess. All right, Alex, why don't you go ahead and stir those into the sauce? Okay. For another couple minutes. And we'll go ahead and lid that again. And again, just another 2 minutes. And you should have perfectly done shrimp over angel hair pasta. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the plates ready. Now remember, I talked to you about my plate. This is the size that I want my stomach to stay. I want to be able to eat 6 of these plates of protein, mostly protein, during the course of the day. And so this is always my measure, and this will be my plate for dinner today. This is my plate, and this is everyone else's plate. So that's how we're going to roll today. Look how beautiful that came out. We're going to take that off the heat. Now they always say you're not supposed to rinse your noodles, that the real Italian person wouldn't do that. I rinse them. I want to get rid of as much of that starch as I possibly can, and I like them a certain way, so. So I'll start by showing you on my plate. This is about how much of the noodle I'm going to eat. Take some of this yummy deliciousness so good. And it tastes absolutely divine. And I think that ends our segment. Remember, you gotta love yourself before you can share it with anyone else. And until next time, have a great week. Bye.